Anthony Hartwig here with another very special Coach's Corner and basketball preview here for Running Point, brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austin Town. We are joined by Andrew Saxon, the head coach of the Girard girls basketball team. Coach, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
All right, we like to start these interviews by just giving the coach the chance to kind of introduce us to the team, some players that are returning, and some players that you think will be some new faces to this team that fans should keep an eye out for.
Okay, I have about 7 or 8 returning lettermen. Um, Fortunately, last year I was able to play a lot of young girls to give them a lot of experience. So I do have some girls coming back with some experience from last year. I have 3 seniors, five juniors, one sophomore, and one really good freshman that'll probably make up our varsity team. The freshman group, I have Maddie Logue, I have Sehan Day Day, I have Emily Drennan. Um, I will count on them quite a bit this year as being leaders of the team. I have 5 juniors that had a lot of experience last year. They played a lot. Allie Durkin, um, Abby Rafferty, um, Ezra Sehan, or excuse me, Ezra Day Day, um, and I'm a sophomore, Mia Melito, and I have a really good freshman, Mackenzie White, who also I plan on using a lot this year on the varsity level.
You know, a lot of those names will sound familiar to the Girard volleyball fans that watch that team have so much success this year. How much do you think the success they had in one sport can kind of trickle down to the next, and those girls that were on that team can kind of share the standard of excellence and the work ethic it took to get them there, and try to get the girls that are just on the basketball team to
That's a,
understand that and follow that?
that's a good question. Those girls are very athletic, and they're very, very competitive. And I think when you have success in another sport, I think it carries over to the next sport. I mean, they know what it's like to win. They know what it's like to get to that level, and hopefully that'll carry over into basketball. And they do just as well in basketball as they did in volleyball. But it's a good group, and then they're the hard workers, they're good listeners, and just hopefully we can duplicate the volleyball season.
They won the NE8 in volleyball, and as we all know, the girls' basketball NE8 does not get any easier. But we talking to coaches around the area, it does seem a little bit more wide open this year than in years past. Some big names are gone from some of the bigger schools that were at the top. Talk about this league, what you expect from it this year, and how you think you guys will fare in it.
Well, I think we're going to be very competitive this year. Usually, South Range and Poland have been the top 2 teams. Basically followed by like us, Struthers and Jefferson, in the middle of the pack. But I think this year it's going to be a little more competitive. I think some of those middle teams have gotten better, and like you said, some of the top teams from last year have lost a few people that were really big assets to their program. So hopefully, like I said, we've learned a lot from last year, and we're going to be a lot more competitive than we were last year. And I think the league's going to be a lot more balanced. I don't think any 1 or 2 teams are going to run away with the league this year.
We know the league schedules, I think, get you guys ready for the end of the tournament. But what about the non-conference schedule? What are some teams that pop up there, and how much do you think that'll prepare you for the end of the season and tournament time?
We play some really non-league opponents. Yeah, we have Ursuline. They're always very tough. We have Newton Falls. We also have McDonald, are 3 of our top non-conference games, and those are 3 very fine programs. And playing those types of teams always prepares you for the tournament. When you have a tough league in which we do, and you play some really good non-league games, it definitely prepares you for the tournament. I mean, teams that are 500 many times, because they play in such a tough league, and they have so many non-league tough opponents, they do well in the tournament. And we're usually pretty competitive in the tournament.
When you have a program at this point now where you, like you said, you're returning a lot of experience from last year, what growth have you seen from your team, and what kind of things that did you see from last year that you kind of want to improve on and develop in from last year to this year?
Well, last year, our Achilles heel, our biggest problem was our shooting percentage from the field and from the free throw line. We definitely need to improve on that this year. We weren't real tall last year, but I have a couple girls inside that I'm hopefully they can rebound and get some putbacks. Our shooting is our number one Achilles heel last year, like I said. But one good thing, these girls have experience. And when you have kids coming back that have played, practices go a little smoother. They know a lot of the drills. They know some of the things we did last year, we're doing this year, and we can add on to that and create other things and move on to a higher level because they've already been through it a year or two. And then that definitely helps through experience and dedication to the program.
Coaches always say the most important time for a basketball team outside of the season are the summer months. Talk about your guys' summer. What kind of things you guys did, and as you reflect on it, how you think it went in developing this team?
Well, we do in the summer. We have a league we play in, very competitive league. There's like 18, 20 teams in the league, and then we do skills also in the summer, in June, in part of July, and then again we continue in usually in the beginning of end of September, October with the kids who do not play a fall sport. One downfall, and it's a good problem. We didn't have our volleyball girls there for a while, so we're probably about 10 days behind schedule. I only have 15 girls, like I said, and then probably 7 or 8 to practice for a couple weeks. But once we got everybody there and all the volleyball girls on a great season they had, then we're starting to gel. We're starting to get a little bit better. Things are starting to move a little smoother, and hopefully we can avoid sickness and injury and go on to our first game, which is the 24th against Crestview.
We've had Girard as a YSN team for a long time. They're one of our first 8 that we got in the first season of YSN. So we've had a long time to kind of understand the culture of Girard athletics, and whether it be basketball, football, volleyball, everyone kind of fights hard. And there's this like Girard grit that we kind of notice. Talk about the culture of your team, the culture that you try to imprint on your girls, and what you hope to them being on this basketball team means.
I always tell them offense is made in the off season, and our kids are very, very, very dedicated. And Girard kids work very hard. They come to practice and they'll give you everything they have, 110%. I try to instill that in them. What you do in practice is what you're going to do in the game. And we always try to make practice a lot harder than the game, because if the practices are harder than the game, then the games are pretty easy. So that's what we try to instill in them, to practice hard and play hard.
What are some things that you hope that when they do graduate from Girard and they graduate from your program, that they take away from being with you guys for the years they are, and when they look back on their time with you, what are some things that you hope that they remember fondly about being a Girard Indian?
Well, first of all, I like them to have fun, and I think they do, but it's hard work, and hopefully I've instilled in them responsibility, dedication. We have to be at practice at a certain time, wear certain clothes, get on the bus at a certain time. They're real regimented, real disciplined, and that's something they can carry on in life. Being disciplined, being on time for things, and being responsible. I hope I have instilled that in my players throughout the 37 years. So that's what I kind of think I look forward to when I see them graduate and come back. They're very successful.
And you say 37 years, that means every year you kind of come back to this thing called coaching. You got to have a passion for it. You got to have a drive for it. What is it about coaching, especially at this level, that keeps you coming back and that you love so much about it?
Well, I love the competition. I love the preparation. I take a lot of pride seeing our girls out there and seeing them be successful. Winning a game is a real exciting thing, and I enjoy that. I enjoy the competition, being ready to play each week. And basketball is nice because sometimes you play 3 games a week, and it's kind of fun because you don't have that 1 game a week schedule like in football. And then in the winter, there's really not much to do besides play basketball. In the spring, the weather always affects softball and baseball. So basketball is a good sport to coach. It keeps me busy, and it keeps me healthy and young, I guess.
Coach, one of the things that we're so excited about for this season is getting to see open gyms again and getting to see these communities back and supporting their athletes. We know the Girard community is very supportive. How excited are you to kind of see a full gym back supporting your team come this year?
Oh, definitely. It was tough last year with COVID and having certain people were allowed to attend the games and certain people were not because of COVID. But this year I'm looking forward to having the gym pretty much filled with people again, watching football and watching volleyball, seeing the crowds cheering and seeing the the student sections cheering again. That's kind of exciting. Basically sports are for the kids, and not to have the student body there. It was kind of disappointing last year. So I'm looking forward to that, to seeing the student body in the stands like always, especially at Girard. They're real supportive.
We know that even though the head coaches get all the interviews and the limelight and the names and the articles, they'd be nothing without the staff that's behind them and the people that kind of help them do what they do. So, okay, I want to give you the chance to highlight the people behind you, the people on your staff, and the people that kind of make this Girard girls basketball team what it is.
I'm very fortunate to have a very, 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 very good staff. We're always prepared. Our girls are always prepared to play, no matter who we play. And they do such a great job. They scout, they watch film. They're just an awesome staff. And I have my assistants are my defensive coordinators, Jack Berman, who's been around quite a long time. He's coached at Ursuline, coached at Mooney's, been a head coach. I have Jimmy Keggy, who's another assistant, Andrew Shanker, again, another assistant, and Lindsey Durkin, one of my JV coaches, and they do an outstanding job. I have two really good junior high coaches, Keith Schubert, who was a good basketball player, and Matt Kotuch was also a good basketball player. And I'm looking forward to them to develop the younger program. And of course, those kids will move up to me, and hopefully we can keep things going here at Girard.
When you talk to those coaches that do run the middle school program, and even the ones that run the youth programs before middle school, what kind of things do you want these kids to have ready and be ready for when they get to you as freshmen?
Well, number one thing, I always preach responsibility. I think especially at that level, 12 and 13-year-olds, you have to teach responsibility, being in practice on time, wearing the right jersey at practice, and things like that. And also, the drills and the things that we do in a high school level, I want those younger kids to learn the same drills, the same things we do. So when they move up to the varsity level, JV level, they basically have an idea of what we're doing and what we want to accomplish. So that's very important. And it's kind of hard when you're dealing with 12, 13-year-old girls. But when they get up, I want them to have some type of idea of what the program's all about, what we're running and what we're doing offensively and defensively.
Coach, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today, giving us a small preview of Girard girls basketball. And we look forward to covering you all year, and we know that we'll talk to you again real soon.
Okay, Matt. Anthony, thank you so much. It was my pleasure.